Hey, everybody, and welcome to tonight's session of Urban Shadows, Juneau, Darkness Beckons. Here on Variant Roles, I'm your MC tonight, Taryn Winnie. You can find me on Twitter at TarzanNZ. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm going to go ahead and just pass it on over to everybody else. Maria, do you want to kick us off?
Oh, hello. I'm Maria. I use she, they pronouns. And you can find me at Happy Capster on Twitter. And tonight, I will be playing Kay Belton, who uses they, them pronouns, who is our resident tainted, who did a murder, as they are wont to do. Yay!
That's one way to put it. uh, Ty.
I'm Ty. I use he and pronouns. You can find me at Baller and Brawler on Twitter. And I am playing Dimitri, the hunter, who is almost committed a murder and uses he and pronouns. Came very close.
And last but certainly not least, welcome back this week, Red or Max.
Hi. Hey, I'm Max. AllMax220 on the Twitters. My character Red and I both use he, him pronouns. Red uses the Aware playbook with a touch of demonic influence. And he went for a ride last episode.
Yes. Away from all of the action, conveniently just settled in.
Be sure nothing exciting happened.
We are unfortunately out one Matthew W. Foreman tonight. He's out doing life things, which happens and is important. So we're probably going to keep tonight a little bit short. And I will give us a little bit of more of an intro as after Max does an intro.
Oh, right. So, on last week's episode of Juneau, Darkness Beckons, Red made a mysterious exit. Dimitri and Lauren went to continue their watch of Chadwick the vampire. But Kay and Gallant joined forces to trap the murderous Spectre Peter in Gallant's Sanctum Sanctorum. Wait, what's that? I'm sorry, I'm getting word from our producer that it's actually Sanctum. I apologize, that's my bad. Anyway, moving right along. Kay summoned Peter, and Gallant was able to magically seal Peter within a prison where he intended to siphon power out of the Spectre. By magical means, they extracted the information that Peter could die if his link was destroyed. Kay set off to kill the link, Peter's husband, Daryl. Peter managed to escape his bonds, which resulted in a ghost on demon slobber knocker with bullets flying, cars getting tossed around as they frequently happen to do on the show, until Kay was finally able to reach Daryl and put an end to Peter for good. And that's where we pick up this week's episode, in the aftermath of that battle.
Thank you, Max. That was lovely. Even the bit where it was a dig at me, I enjoyed it. Yeah, we're gonna pick up right where we left off last week, in front of the now vacant lot where Peter and Daryl's house once stood. What do you do?
I don't know. You guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got a dead man on me. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
I think Dimitri slings ballet, kind of puts away his sniper rifle and walks up to Lauren and says, "Fantastic job! Your first kill!" Offers a high five.
She kind of just like looks down at the pistol in her hand and kind of shoulder holsters it, and then looks at you and just gives you a big smack back on the high five. It's like,
excellent.
That was crazy. Is it always like that?
It gets better and easier. I think we can have a talk about it. I think maybe my shoulder hurts like real bad. So I think perhaps we go to Steve's, celebrate a little bit, and discuss things from there.
All right. I kind of gotta take care of something first. And as Lauren begins to sort of like walk away from the car towards where Kay is, Gallant kind of just like gives out a Oh, I need that was a lot. I'm gonna go. Mm-hmm, take a nap. And he just kind of like catch me in the morning, and stumbles and gets in his pickup and kind of turns over a couple of times and then just kind of like backs off the lawn where the car is was currently and just like hits another mailbox and then drives off. And then
Dimitri was
Lauren's
way by the car. Well, way by the car because he didn't drive.
Lauren is walking towards UK.
Well, I think in that small interim, I think Kay is kind of still looking at Daryl, who was alive but a few moments ago, and we'll just kind of gently remove their hand from their body and kind of lay them down on the ground, and kind of just sit like on the ground, and they'll start to revert back, but I think it's a lot slower than it has been. It takes a lot longer to kind of revert back to the more diminutive form of Kay. And eventually they're just kind of kneeling there in front of Daryl with this kind of blank look on their face. Yeah, looking at this very dead person.
I think after a moment, and after you've kind of slowly shifted back into your more human form, you feel just like a hand on your shoulder.
Why are you here?
Well, it's kind of a question for maybe another time. We should probably do something about that. She's kind of pointing at Daryl's body.
Is my demon gang still here?
They have begun to slowly sort of like make their way back into the shadows that are sort of keeping the houses dark around you.
Okay. I'm just gonna try to snap at one of them or a couple of them and point at Daryl's body.
They kind of give you a bow and walk over, extra long limbed, and sort of just like wrap it up, and then it begins to roll, and it just sort of like rolls into the shadow and is gone. And everything begins to dissipate. Street lights begin to pop back on. House lights begin to flicker. You want to talk about this somewhere? We're going to go to Steve's and Arrows. You know that bar, right?
Sure. Sure, we can go wherever.
Do you want me to ride with you? We can give Dimitri the keys. It'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of like, and the keys are probably still in the car. Like, I probably didn't.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Kay's car is dead. Kay's car does not exist anymore.
Oh, right, because the whole...
It's in half, in the middle of the street.
Right. She kind of like looks back, is like, Brett, you want to ride? Sort of forgot about the whole
Yeah.
thing with the car.
Yeah. And Kay will just kind of slowly start to stand up.
Dimitri, you're in the back.
You see him like he's already in the front seat. He gets out with his briefcase and his long sword, opens the back, puts him in.
Sorry.
All right, plenty of room back here.
All right. Yeah, I can't imagine it's a very like busy car ride. Like, I can't imagine there's a whole lot of conversation.
I don't think so.
Lauren's got the like radio turned up a little bit. Some like classic rock, but for Lauren, classic rock, so it's like knots. Maybe a little bit of 90s. Death Cab for Cutie comes on.
There you go.
And then, yeah, eventually guys show up at Steve's. Red, what have you been up to? Muted.
Well, I got into a car.
Yes.
And who was in that car?
It was someone you put connection into the time before, texted Crawford.
Now, is this one of those like fancy, sleek black FBI minivans, or?
Well, I wouldn't say minivan. It's more like a black town and country.
All right, hop in. Send a text off to Kay to keep things chronological. Good to be seeing you again. It's been a couple weeks. Sorry I haven't touched base too much.
Right. Well, the last time we had a conversation, you sort of misled me.
Kept you safe.
Right. That's one way for it. What's up? You wanted to meet.
Well, a couple questions. The investigation continues into that Chadwick vampire kid, the whole reason I'm here. But some stuff got me thinking. I'm wondering if he's an isolated incident. He's a teenager, and that the youngest Belton kid was also taken by some members of this group. I'm wondering if there might be a pattern there that I'm seeing and no one else is, or if I'm just grasping at straws here. But I'm wondering other young adults just coming of age maybe getting taken by this group.
Well, you don't really track appearances, more disappearances. So if people are showing up in town one way or another, that's a little bit harder to pin down.
Well, he's a member. He'd be a vampire, and
well, I know the kid you're talking about.
The Belton girl was part of the family that have that whole demon stuff going on. Do you know of any young fae being taken, or missing persons coming in on your end?
Nothing outside of tend to keep more track of the normies disappearing into the more supernatural situations. We've got another division for not a whole lot. Nothing more than your typical somebody goes missing out at the lodge sort of situations.
Yeah. All right, maybe a dead end, but just thought I'd mention it to you.
I think that's a good lead. It's going to take a little bit of digging.
If they're doing some kind of sacrifice of all the members of the factions, right? Might be something we could stop without having to, blow up a bridge. But had a someone on my butt. One of those I don't know. I'm calling it a revenge zombie. Not really familiar with the special term for it, but want to know how to get rid of one once it decides that you're its enemy.
Oh. haven't dealt too much with saying a revenge zombie.
Yeah. So
Got any other words for it?
uh, Revenant.
Okay, that kind of where I thought you were going with that, but
I might be able to roll to make a difference here because I have Arcane Detective.
okay.
When you interview a knowledgeable NPC while pursuing the arcane, would this count towards that if I'm looking for an
Yeah.
arcane method?
Yeah.
Well, roll with mind. On a hit, they offer you a concrete lead, an important location, a supplier, or a tome. On a 10 plus, I already have that connection in my arcane network that allows me to make good on this info. 7 to 9, the path forward is blocked or precarious for you at this time. On a miss, they tell you a little, but your questions put them in grave danger. So, gonna see if this changes what Crawford knows. With mind, okay, that's a 6 on the dice. Please let me have good mind. Well, that's not good.
Do you have no mind or -1 mind?
That's 7.
Oh,
So
well,
it's
that's not a
path is
total
blocked.
miss.
Yeah, not the best, but not the worst.
Yeah.
So pretty much what we were about to do anyway.
Oh yeah, Benji was at that fight.
Yeah. Benji did something a little particular and decided to unload on Red, so I need to know this information if I can
Yeah.
find it.
Kind of just thanks for saying this. You know, let me. I got a friend in town who I've made acquaintance with. She's she's pretty knowledgeable about these sort of things. Keeps a pretty good library. Kind of a book nerd. Might be able to help you out, but
Guess the last question is something's kind of been eating at me for a little while. There's somebody I want to help out of a bad situation. If you know any way to remove, whatever's in the Belton family from.
that's a little bit outside of anybody's pay grade usually.
Never hurt to ask, but
the most common way is also the most final.
Right. So one who has one of these things inside them really has no way out.
Unless they can work out a deal themselves. Not really. Not that I know of, at least. I mean, I'm trying to think of the name of this NPC. Sorry. Dr. Silva might be able to help you out, but
All right. So there's a new player in town on the magic side. Just spoke to him on the phone. Name of Gallant, something like that.
yeah, he's out. What about him?
I might be working beside this guy, so I just want to heads up on any warnings, anything I gotta watch out for.
That's probably it. Watch out. Tends to how do I want to put this? Tends to deal in absolutes.
Okay.
Wants to get things done.
Does he care about collateral?
That's a question for him. Things might have changed.
I've only spoken to him on the phone, so I just trying to get a read on somebody before
All right,
face to face. Do you have any information you need to share with me on this plan if I'm part of it?
It's my turn to ask some questions. All right, I've given you plenty of information. So,
yeah, sure.
Well, one, what the hell happened at the cabin or the shed or whatever it was?
Well, you see, I've been stockpiling fireworks for the 4th of July, and
Okay, the real answer, Red.
there were some people that needed to be dealt with. Pesky vampire, that wasn't part of my idea. That just kind of threw in afterwards. But I was trying to get the kid back, and this that group that we are not too fond of. Not sure if you have a name for them, but they hurt me and told me that I was going to be working for them, and didn't really like that. Didn't like having to watch over my back, so I saw a way to get one of them out of the equation. Figured it'd be the wizard. Vampire's harder to get to.
Yeah. Tend to be a little bit more cautious, not as cocky. All right, so what have you been up to since?
I got a little dinged up, so I've been just spending some time recuperating, trying to deal with my demon in a bottle situation. Haven't had a drink in a while. Threw out the flask, getting my head straight before I continue the investigation.
Right. And what are you up to now? You're
Well,
sticking your nose in something. I've seen that look.
well, that the Chadwick kid, I know where he's located. That's why I'm trying to find out if they're planning on sacrificing him or maybe he's being held against his will.
Well,
He was at the cabin. He ran away, but I mean, the thing exploded with him and me running out of it. Lost my favorite jacket. And he took off before I could ask him any questions. So I'm hoping to get him home so I can get out of your hair. Hopefully before this whole solstice thing goes down.
right. All right. Any information you give me on our mutual acquaintances, the ones that are planning shit?
Well, I know got a little help getting that Saris feller out there from the Wolf Pack that has that Lawrence guy in it. They are apparently not too happy with the way they're being treated like dogs. Ironic.
I don't think that's irony. I think that's more coincidental.
Okay, it's
Or
one of those Alanis
wordplay.
Morissette ironies.
No, but anyway. All right, that's interesting.
Got some
Any
new
contact
hunters.
with new hunters? What's going on there?
Well, haven't met the whole group yet, but I think that Gallant guy is part of it. Part of Steve's group, so I'm putting my trust in him to know what he's talking about.
Interesting. I might have to go see Steve again. He hasn't pinged me with that news yet, so he's not keeping his nose out of things as much as he used to.
Well, I got a little help from one of them. They were just right now just scoping out people who were involved in all this. Haven't really turned anything over yet. We just got on it yesterday.
All right. Yeah, I think that's decent enough trade of information.
But I mean, this group could be good just to watch, the common folk. They don't really know what's going on. They don't know what to watch out for.
I'll have to have a conversation. Well, this has been fruitful.
Could you drop me off at the hardware store?
He just sort of like pulls up to a corner.
All right. Can you point me in the direction of a hardware store?
Do you not have a phone? Like GPS, Google Maps?
It's kind of hard to get one on one of these.
And he just like flicks out like an iPhone and just like opens it up and like pushes a hardware store and shows you there's one like 3 blocks away.
All right. So I swing my leg out and I get out and take off walking.
About this time, you get a phone call. You're Peter.
Hello?
Hey. Hey, Red.
Hey.
You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good. I mean, I haven't had a drink since we last talked, but that was like yesterday. So, but every one day at a time, right?
Right. That's good to hear.
Getting sick of cranberry juice, though. I tell you.
You know, there are other things than cranberry juice, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I like having something with flavor. Water's not my favorite, but yeah.
Well,
Anyway, what do you call about?
just checking in, seeing what your timeline is.
Well, I know where the kid is now. It's just oh boy, howdy! I'm trying to put off calling his daddy because I don't know how I'm supposed to get a adult man to go home against his will. So that's something I'm trying to figure out. But I mean, at least I know where he is, right?
It's it's good.
Now I'm hoping to be home, before Christmas. So, but I mean, well before Christmas.
Well, you get this figured out, okay? Maybe we can. Maybe you
Yeah,
can actually retire this time.
yeah. After everything that's gone down here, I think I'd be in favor of settling down and being a Walmart greeter.
I don't think that'd suit you.
At least be a change.
Maybe you could do
Maybe I'll
that,
just move into consulting.
or just maybe a golf course marshal. Drive around, don't have to walk as much. Get off the leg.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Just I'll we'll sit down. We'll write up a plan of action together.
Yep. That
I
sounds.
miss you.
I miss you too. It sounds. Just be safe. All right.
Right. I love you, Gumdrop.
You too. Just there's a long pause on the other end, and then clink.
I'll walk with a little more of a spring in my step as I head the 3 blocks to the hardware store to get tarp and some stuff to patch a hole that got busted in a house just a day ago, even though it feels like weeks.
Is that what you're gonna head and do next?
That's my plan. I'm gonna do that. Grab some supplies, get a cab back to my car, and go to Kay's, and that's where we can pick back up if you want to move on to Steve's.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And as you guys reminded me, Benji was also at the house fight. He kind of like awkwardly like is like waiting on the other side of the car, just like, can I get in? Kind of like looking at Kay.
I get, yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't. I don't have to go all the way. I just need to ride back like out of here.
Yeah, you can sit with Dimitri in the back.
Dimitri like picks up his briefcase and his sword from the other seat.
The merry-go-round of where these seats. Benji kind of just opens the door and just sits down and looks at Dimitri. It's like, nice shooting.
Nice to meet you. I am Dimitri.
Benji.
Pleasure.
And then Lauren again now actually drives off. Still Death Cab Cutie. Benji's kind of like mouthing like slightly singing along,
yeah,
but
Of course he is.
yeah, and then probably a couple blocks from Steve, she kind of lets Benji out. He kind of just gives a wave with one of his pistols and just walks off down the street. And then you guys make your way to Steve's. So
I think Dimitri opens the door first with his good arm. Says, "The fledgling hunter has first kill. Let us celebrate, Steve."
Steve kind of like looks up from the bar, like looks around and thankful that there's no one else in here currently, and just like you gotta get better on your entrances, Dimitri.
Apologies. I was very
But-
excited.
Congrats. That wasn't the mission I sent you guys on, right?
No.
Okay, I thought that was just an observation one, but Lauren kind of like pushes past, is like, Steve, I got one.
Kill
I'm
the
kind of
ghost.
like, what'd you say? Sorry.
Said kill the ghost. As I point to her.
Yeah, it was on Dimitri. I just instinct kicked in and got rid of it.
My shoulder's pretty fucked.
It's true, but Steve kind of like just like looks at, and then Kay walking in, because the last time you were here, you transformed in the bar.
A little bit. Well, I was transformed. I was like coming out of transformation
Right.
as I was walking into the bar.
Yeah, I was trying to just.
But yeah, Kay's like just gonna walk to a booth and just sit down.
Drinks?
I'll order, yes, and Dimitri will order drinks for them if they're sitting at a table to give Kay and Lauren a moment alone.
Lauren kind of follows, looks at Dimitri and looks back at Kay and looks at Dimitri and then follows
I'll
Kay
bring them.
back to the table.
I'll bring them.
It's just your whatever. Just it's gonna be hard. Whatever. Fine. And just like follows Kay to the table and like sits down across from them. And so that was new.
Yeah. Well, it was new for you. New for you.
Right. Yeah. That was kind of the perspective I was coming from.
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is that like a? What was that?
I guess you could call it a family heirloom. Dad never really talked about his work too much. I didn't really ask about it a whole lot either. And I didn't really do anything of it until he was gone.
Could Xavier do that too?
Yeah, it was a little more Ghost Rider, flames and skulls, and it was way more badass.
I don't know. That was pretty bad. You bent a car in half. Okay. It was pretty badass.
Yeah, and I killed a guy too. That was really badass as well.
Well, that. I mean, I don't want to sound naive about it, but kind of had to, right? For what was going on there. I mean, I don't know the whole story or anything, but
No, you're right.
I mean, that seemed like a bad situation.
yeah.
Just from like pulling up. I mean, did you see what happened to Mitri? He got a ghost to the chest.
No, I didn't. I didn't know that you all were there until after. Are you?
Gallant texted Dimitri, and Dimitri,
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I mean, I'm a little disoriented, trying to figure out all of the shit that I saw. But no, yeah, I'm doing all right. Saying everybody could do that. Can Mom?
No, I don't think Mom even knows, really.
That's probably for the best, but she found out it would not be good.
No, it would not be good. That's kind of why I wanted to make sure that Lauren, did they tell you what happened at the cabin a couple of weeks ago?
No.
Okay.
She kind of just like reaches a hand across and kind of like, and if you have a hand on the table, it's just gonna like grab yours, kind of just like give it a small squeeze.
There were a lot of not great people. We blew up a cabin. There was someone inside. They were very bad. But I don't know what Xavier was doing. I still don't know what Xavier was actually doing, but he was trying to, I don't know, rule the city, take it from, I don't know. The city doesn't need to be ruled by anybody, but I think something kind of came over him and he changed. Maybe it was the people that he hung around with, but we had a fight, and it didn't end well. It ended in the worst way possible, Lauren. Lauren, I killed our brother. And I hate myself for it every single day. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Well, takes two of us, but we're in this together. I'm sorry, I want to say something really snarky and smart assy and just try to make you feel better, but I just glad I didn't lose both of you.
Yeah.
But I'm just your little sister, but I don't think it was your fault. I think it's whatever thing has latched onto our family.
Yeah, maybe. I'm stuck with that thing. And I got one of my friends stuck with that thing. I'm trying to get him out. Because I know I can do that.
Can do whatever I can to help you get out. I can figure it out. I mean, maybe not just the two of us, but I mean, that wizard dude, I don't really know. This is all very Lord of the Rings right now. That wizard dude, I mean, he seems pretty smart. Dimitri just like shot that guy's face off. I can get it squared away, right? Red's red.
I don't know, Lauren. I don't think there is a way.
I can't. I don't want to believe that. I want to be ornery and not. So. I got your back.
I know.
And you damn well sure got my back. So. Was that insensitive? I said damned. I'm sorry. That. Sorry, that
fine.
was insensitive of me. So. Was that supposed to happen to me?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely tried to not let that happen.
Well, can't say I'm not going to miss not having the demon powers or whatever they were, but
you definitely wouldn't want them.
Better to have one of us on the outside. Kind of gives your hand another squeeze.
Okay, we'll squeeze back. God, this town sucks.
I don't know. We just saw ghost fight shadow demon things. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
It's really cool. You turned a car in half.
I turned my car in half. I don't have a car
that,
anymore.
The semantics were present, but I mean, we're friends with a wizard. Like, well, I'm not really friends with. You're friends with the wizard, but I'm friends with Dimitri. Sort of. We work together, kind of. You call this working? I'm talking a lot right now. I am coming down off whatever that was.
Okay, we'll just squeeze her hand again and look over to wherever Dimitri ended up.
Dimitri would, while they're talking, definitely got a head start at the bar with Steve. Like, would drink one and just offer another one, but would talk to Steve too and look over to them and say, "She has a lot to promise. She is very talented for just getting started."
Yeah, I kind of figured that. I mean, when you're in it as deep, even if you don't know it, you kind of pick up on a thing or two, I guess.
Definitely. But I think she did good today, and a good hunt should be rewarded. Do you still have that workshop downstairs?
Yeah. I mean, it's... Yeah. I mean, do what you want.
I would like to spend my debt with him to get a useful item, and I'd like to help Lauren make her first hunter weapon.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
All right, I will take her down.
All right.
Meanwhile, while Kay is just there, Kay looks at Steve and says, "You have a workshop?"
He kind of like looks back. It's like, no. Yeah, no, I got one. It's I've been around this town a long time.
Dimitri will deliver the drinks and then say, "Fledgling, come with me. There is a reward for your good deed today."
She kind of like looks at Dimitri, looks at the drink, looks at Kay, looks back at the drink, picks it up, looks back at Kay.
Kay will just toast and stay at the bar or at the booth.
It's just kind of like she toasts and then sips it. There's some struggle there. It's probably very. Lauren's not to sip it.
Lauren, I whatever.
Then she kind of giddily pops up and like walks off with Dimitri.
And we'll head downstairs.
All right.
So you have. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I just move over to the bar as soon as they leave.
So you have regular sword and you have handgun. Do you want something long range or short, perhaps?
Well, I mean, Max in chat. Damn it. Gun sword. That was good. She kind of like she like pulls the like, I think it's like a 9mm probably, and like pulls it out and sets it down. And what you didn't notice before is there are like small runes etched into this one. Steve gave me this to help a little bit. That's why I was able to connect with the ghost back there. But
Would you want something perhaps a spear or a katana or like nunchucks? What are you feeling?
oh, that's a lot of options.
Let's start base. You can get like a staff or like a chain or like handle.
So I'm gonna make a character decision for Lauren here, Kay, and you tell me if this is. So I did flag twirling in high school, so maybe something along those lines.
All right, so staff. More like spear or like Darth Maul from your American Phantom Menace.
Sorry, that got me out of character. I don't think I've seen that one.
Don't. I'm sorry, tie slipping through.
No, it's good.
So bad.
Dimitri's not a prequel fan.
No.
Not the midichlorians.
No, not those midichlorians. Good fight scene with Darth Maul though.
Yeah, that was good. Sorry everyone, we're going off on a tangent here. It's Star Wars month, okay? And she kind of like is like, yeah, I don't think I've, but maybe it was something sharp on the end. So I guess that's a spear. I don't really know. I haven't really done a whole lot of studying. I didn't know there was gonna be a test.
Well, you'll get to that. The more you hunt, the more you accumulate these sort of weapons. So
yes, Maria, yes, a glaive. Make her a glaive.
So I think our first tag is probably bladed or head.
Okay.
Staff. You could have it extend. You could have it perhaps made of silver or iron or like my sword blessed, perhaps by Galant.
What were the options again? I'm sorry. This is really a lot.
Perhaps made of silver, good against hairy beasts.
No, that sounds good. And then so how many options do I get here?
That's up to you, I think. Normally it's 2. I have 3 because that's my hunter
2
upgrade.
is probably good. So
Okay.
Bladed and silver.
Bladed and silver, yeah.
Bladed silver glaive.
Yeah, and then I'd help her make it.
She kind of just like watches intently, and then like kind of like she does get involved. Like she wants to be hands on with it, and kind of makes you show her how you do things, not just like doing it for her.
Mhm.
So
He's a
there's
little
like a
drunk, but he
small
does but he does do it.
she's probably a little drunk too after that one drink.
And afterward, I will hand her the bladed silver glaive.
Awesome. She walks back up with it, looks at Kay, looks at Steve, is like,
Right?
and I'm sorry, I love this section so much. This trio relationship here. Dimitri the fun uncle.
Yeah, correct. That's what I was just saying.
Demetrius the cool uncle. You're not
Yep.
wrong. Not wrong.
But yeah, she kind of like pushes a table aside and like starts like twirling it around. Is actually pretty proficient with it too.
I'll clap. Dimitri claps as he takes a shot.
Dimitri, do you want to get that shoulder looked at?
Oh, I've completely
It's been
forgot
a
about
couple
it.
of
Yeah.
hours. I just wanted to.
There's just like ghost pus oozing out of his
Mhm.
shoulder.
Spectral ooze.
Pours
Steve
a
is
little
like,
bit of vodka on it.
Oh god.
Steve just, no, you know what? I've got a kit in the back. Do you want? I can look at that. Just kind of like
Appreciate
grabs you by the other shoulder and just like starts leading you. You two are gonna be all right.
Yeah.
If you need leave, just lock up. But
She'll look after me. After they leave,
yeah,
I will get off from where the bar is, and kind of mosey my way over to this now weaponed Lauren, and say, "Well, you have a fancy new toy. I am neither your parental figure nor your conscience, but I want to make sure that you can use it. So, Kay's gonna go to the front door and lock it.
okay.
And then,
Demon training montage.
yep,
I just saw that. I love this.
yep. Kay is not gonna use a corruption to kill Team. Kay is going to roll for
Corruption
this one.
montage.
No. Well, okay, a corruption could happen, but
Oh yeah,
it's
because you
fine.
do have to roll.
I do have to roll. Or no. I can't gain corruption from this roll, but I can owe my patron a debt. That's fine. It's fine. Oh, it's not fine.
Oh no.
It's a 5. So I choose 1 and I owe my patron a debt. Shit. Okay, it's fine.
Amazing. No, this is perfect. I have a thing for you afterwards anyway.
Cool. Well, I do just want my...
Armor.
Yes, actually.
I figured that's what you were going for.
Yes. Well, I did want armor and weapons, and then I think there's a moment where Kay just kind of like takes a ready stance and like assumes that crazy clans are gonna show up, and then they don't, and they're very confused.
And you just hear a very quiet, very drawn out. We'll talk later. And then yeah, you guys spar for a bit.
Yeah, I like take 2 steps forward and I say, "Hit me."
Or kind of like looks at you a little bit tentatively for a second, and then like squares up. It's like
Try
pleasure,
to hit
and
me.
then
Cool.
yep, and then that goes on. I think while that is going on, and Steve is tending to Dimitri's wounds, Red, you want to snoop?
Very much so. I'm gonna
Roll to snoop. in
Oldest-
the Belton household. Or, yeah, Belton.
Come
I
on.
said that wrong one time, and now I'm like,
Yes, not the
Completely.
Belmont household. That is a different. That is a different castle.
to be
That
honest,
is-
though, that was a great slip up.
Fine.
You roll.
That's a total of 10.
Nice. So that means what?
That means I get 3. Hold 3.
Okay.
So I guess the most important one is what here is not what it seems.
Where is your father's study? Or where was your father's study?
My father's study would have been on the 2nd floor, kind of facing the rear of the house. And it's
All right.
obnoxiously big, but there's very few things in it.
I'm gonna say a bookshelf is not what it seems.
So I'm going to try the obvious, see if it swings out like a door.
Nothing on that.
Nothing. All right, we're going to read the titles of the books. Anything stand out to me that might like Addams Family style? Greed. That's right, throwback. Good movie.
This another move.
If I could use another hold, yeah, I'll use my second hold to.
Yeah. Trying to think of a good book title for this to be. Does anybody have any suggestions?
For a book that opens a secret door?
Harry
Yes.
Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
No.
Oh god, he would not have that on his bookshelf.
No.
The Holy Bible.
No.
No.
Maria's got this. I can feel it.
Tale of Two Cities.
I was gonna say that.
Hell yeah.
So good.
Nice.
That's what I was gonna say. Awesome.
It needs to
Nice.
happen. There are no coincidences.
Nope. All right. Tale of Two Cities.
All right. So I'm going to just put my finger over the lip and pull it back as I've seen
Yeah.
in movies.
Yeah, it doesn't really budge, but when you push on it, it sinks a little bit.
Ooh.
And it sort of like sinks into the cabinet below it as it's on the bottom shelf. And you hear just a click. And it just sort of like rolls to the side.
Is there any light in there?
There's a safe.
There's a safe. All right. Darn. So what kind of key is it? Keypad or is it?
It is part keypad, part turnstile thing.
Okay, so no fingerprint thing. At least we got that going for me. Okay. That might be the. So I'd like to use my last snoop to go through the desk and see if I can find any clues to a possible combination written down.
I'm gonna ask you to use the questions on the snoop for this last one.
Oh,
Figure out where
okay,
those.
What's my best way in?
Is that one of your questions? Oh yeah, it is.
It's the first one.
Yeah.
I know.
That you can devise right now. It's either small charges of explosives or the actual password.
Okay, so there's all my 3. So it's keypad and then I have to do the combination?
Yeah. Or at least You think so? I mean, there are two combinations of like keys codes that need to be put in. So there's a turn thing and a keypad. So you're not sure which one's which.
Okay, that's not going to be fun to get into. I'm going to find a pencil, grind it down, and see if I can get any fingerprints on the keypad to see if I can see what buttons would get pressed.
Sorry, I was sending a thing in Zoom. Would this be a move, do you think?
I could try another snoop.
I think you can. I think that's usually like once per session or scene.
Hmm. Because I'm kind of wondering if I could just find the years of birth of the Belton children. Because I both was it Xavier, Kay, and Lauren?
Yes.
Just not the first two numbers, just the.
There's a ready source of Belton information at your fingertips on your cell phone.
Staring at the phone. I type in, out of curiosity, when were y'all born? No reason. I delete it. Okay. Okay, fixed up your wall. Found something you might be interested in Father's Den. Send. But the problem is, for time of day, well, no, I mean, I've been probably spent a lot of time fixing up the wall, so it could be, if we could catch up on time.
I think it probably took you a while, because that wall was pretty damaged.
Here's the thing, though. The wall was repaired by my patron.
It did get fixed up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Only
so I would have shown up and...
these episodes like a religion.
Oh, yeah.
Like right afterwards, it was repaired via shadowed stuff.
So I showed up with the stuff and then spent the rest of the day snooping.
Yep.
Yeah, I would imagine that you wouldn't have gotten to the second floor like
right away. It probably would have taken you a while to snoop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole house, and
yeah.
I didn't go in Kay's room, but we don't know that yet. They don't know that yet.
It's fine. You're in my house though, and I conveniently have exactly one debt left on you. So I'm gonna get that text, and I'm gonna kind of read it and stand there while I assume Lauren smacks me.
Probably. You get like a flat side of a blade to the face, just. Sorry.
You took advantage of an opportunity. It's fine. I gotta go real quick.
What?
I need to meet up with Red. But I'll meet you.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Taking a nap at the bar probably.
Yeah, I'll meet you back home. We can meet up there and hang out. Won't sleep or whatever. It's
okay. I'm probably not gonna drive home. I've had a couple.
Okay, that's fine.
Steve's got extra couches. I think he's got like a whole bunk bed back there. So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you'll be fine too. It's fine. It's fine. And I'm just gonna take a step backwards and just disappear. And reappear near where Red is.
On your way.
Oh God.
Since this is my new favorite interruption device.
It's my favorite too.
You feel as you sort of like step backwards, you feel your like self kind of get just like caught in the small of your back by a long spindly hand. And you feel you like sort of like look around. You find yourself sort of in your house, but sort of like if it was just the woodwork and made out of shadow. So How are we feeling?
Fine.
Are you sure?
No, what do you want?
Just wanting to make sure you're not feeling too conflicted. Still have work to do.
Yeah, 4 more, right?
Right. I've been gracious in offering you choices. I have changed my mind. I have a specific task for you to do now. Your old friends, the Dumonts, they've become troublesome. Eliminate them. All of them. There's 4, conveniently, but it's a little bit more of a task. Do you accept?
I thought you weren't giving me choices anymore.
Illusion is important.
Too bad I can see through those.
For now. And they sort of like whirl around you, and there's just this thin, smoky hand in front of you looking for a shake. You owe me. Deal in or get out.
I'll reach forward and very aggressively grab the hand.
As you grab into it, your hand sort of sinks around it, and then just it dissipates. Good. See you soon. And then just you feel yourself sort of like stumble backwards the rest of the way, and you find yourself right next to Red.
Definitely has a much more soured expression than when they left Steve's bar.
You are fulfilling the debt to the patron, so I think Mark Wild.
Cool. Hey, did I get a moment of intimacy with Lauren?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey,
That was.
Does Lauren have any debts?
Oh.
I mean, it's okay if she doesn't. She's new in town.
Yeah, I was
She's
gonna say,
young
I
and
don't think she
naive.
does.
It's fine.
Yeah. I'll say, since I totally forgot about the mechanic, Red, you had a moment of intimacy with Peter. Your Peter.
Doesn't matter. He's not a.
Yeah, just.
Yep.
Well, you get to mark mortality anyway.
Yeah.
I do. Oh, right.
Yeah.
I haven't had to.
And then Ty, I think the weapon scene I'm gonna say is also intimacy. So.
What's
yeah.
Dimitri's intimacy move? Just for the
Yeah.
class.
It would be a scene if I did it.
Oh.
If you guys are not done with, if you guys are done with your scene, I can do it. Otherwise,
Well, we just kind of finished the scene. We can dip back over real fast.
For a sec. Hot sec.
I think it, it would take place a little bit later in the evening as we continue to drink and after he's been healed a little bit.
Yeah.
I think him, Steve, and Lauren would probably be chatting and stuff. And when Steve left at some point, he would turn to Lauren and say, "So what's happened with your sibling? That big scary winged sharp? Have you seen that before?"
I I had not. Turns out it's a family thing,
That is
or
worrisome.
sort of is. They're what's left.
How do you feel about it?
It. Which part? Losing half my family, or
No, I did not know about that. I meant about your sibling holding some sort of dark power within them.
I trust them.
If I have a question, Lauren, and you must answer truthfully. I'm very perceptive when it comes to this. And this is what my intimacy move is. I may ask them a question they must answer honestly. The first half of it. They seem to be on the side good right now. I don't know much about the city. I just arrived. But if the darkness continues to grow in your sibling, would you ever be able to right that wrong?
I think they'd want me to.
And now you may ask me one. Any question you want.
What do you get out of helping me? Of caring about me?
And he smiles and says, I was trained by someone when I was young, someone who guided me and taught me the ways of the hunter, and I think it is about time I passed that knowledge on, and you seem very talented and very promising.
Kind of thinks on that for a second and just kind of thanks. Kind of lifts their glass sloshily a little bit. She kind of like leans it over and like tips it against yours and just, I'm definitely sleeping here tonight. And just downs it.
He smiles, takes the shot, and as he kind of looks forward, his smile fades, and I will mark one for lying to her.
Oh,
Corruption.
Amazing. Oh, Ty, you're so good. Dimitri, not as much of a fan of right now, but Ty, you're very good. Okay, I think we'll do the red casing, and I think then we'll wrap up there for the evening.
So Red wouldn't even react by this point with the teleportation. Just continue staring at the safe as if he's meant to be there.
Red, what are you doing in my house?
My job. I am looking for answers into this this situation I'm in, but also the overall thing going with the solstice, which your father was a part of. And I stopped by your house. You didn't come through the front door, so you didn't see all the tarp I brought, because I was going to fix up that hole I made. Apparently that got fixed. Don't know who your contractor is, but I want their number.
You already have it. But besides that,
No. So, anyway, I did what I do. I snooped around looking for the den. I didn't go in your room. Don't worry about that. I'm just trying to find some answers as to why Lauren was taken into that cabin, why everything's going on as it's going on. He's part of this with Conrad, and your brother and Benji were killing people over this, so I just kind of want answers, and I figure this is a good place to start. And now I've got a safe sitting in front of me with a code you might know the answer to without even knowing you know the answer to it.
Oh, okay. Could you be a little less cryptic? What are you?
Well, there's a keypad, and there is a combination lock, and I don't know any numbers. You'd be the one who knew more about what your father would be. Was he a sentimental person, or was he cold and calculating, as I'm kind of suspecting?
I never saw him as a sentimental person, but that doesn't mean he wasn't at one point.
That could mean maybe you used your birthdays, you and your siblings, maybe any number that came up, old phone number, anything you could do to help me get into this that doesn't involve hulking out and ripping the door off it.
Obviously, would I have any inclination as to what my father may have used for a safe code? I don't know if I would. Besides what has already been established as a maybe.
Yeah. What would Kay think their dad would use?
It's related to the solstice. Maybe it has something to do with that date.
No, I don't think it would be anything like that. Well, okay. To be perfectly honest, Kay is thinking possibly the birthdays, because if there was anything that Kay thought their father wanted, it was to have the family line endure. What better way to do that than through your children? So Kay will walk over. It doesn't give any indication of like the number of numbers.
If you push a number on it, it will like pop up a space to populate six numbers. And then obviously the turn dial, it's a 0 to 99 turn dial.
Okay. I have no idea what the 6 digit.
Do you want a hand?
But that okay.
I forgot. You can hear me too. Hi, Red.
You're just a voice in my head?
No, it's not.
And then you say that, and instantly the smoke begins to like fill the room, and just sort of like stands right next to you, Red. Says, "This is a very impressive illusion you've concocted."
You're not the only voice in my head, so you haven't touched me. Kind of skeptical.
Do you want me to touch you? That couldn't say that without me. Sorry.
Demon Daddy.
Demon Daddy.
A rapid shift into Monster Hearts.
Did Dan just inhabit me?
Dan?
Darkness beckons.
Oh God. Oh jeez.
Anyway,
Nay-nay.
sorry. that got someone to follow.
Yay! Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the follow.
Thanks,
Thank
Doc
you.
Blaze.
I will point to the safe and say, yes.
So, you are on the right track. You have birthdays, and then you have birthdays. Try those years. Hey, thanks, Somatic Games.
Hey, hello. We're doing the game of numbers. Okay.
So I guess that makes the last one 28, 1-8.
No.
Try
No.
smaller. Don't need. I'll let you figure it out. And then the smoke just dissipates.
I will. God, I will.
Nothing talking ages or years of possessions.
I will punch in the date of mine and Xavier's transformation.
So, if you punch in
Well, no, because that
the
wouldn't be
years.
6. Yeah.
So you punch in the year for Xavier's,
Mhm.
you punch in the year for yours, and then this year would have been Lauren's.
Mhm.
So, do you punch that in?
Mhm. Because it was gonna happen.
You hear a chink, and then the turnstile sort of like lights up a little bit from like a backlight.
Any thoughts on that one, Kay, or should I take a bullet for you here?
Puzzles are hard. Puzzles are hard.
Try the more normal ones.
Okay, I guess I'll try our birthdays.
It opens.
Sweet.
So it's your birthdays and your birthdays.
That's not weird or gross.
Opens, and it is a single notebook.
I will reach inside before.
And I think that's a good spot to cut for the evening.
Oh no.
So,
No.
but, everybody, we are closing out a little early this week. We are missing a player, and we still have some episodes to go for this season. And I don't want to get too far away with the story without Matthew because, well, I don't want to do that. So, make it easy enough. We thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Somatic Games, again for the raid. We really appreciate that. Lovely. We will not be here next week because of PAX Unplugged, as most people will be away. But yeah, so go around who you are, where we can find you, what's going on in your life, and then what's going on in life is just like games and stuff. Unless you want to talk about your life, then for that. And then favorite moment. So anyone want to go first?
Sure. Hi, I'm Max. I can be found at allmaxd20 on the Twitters. This is pretty much the only game I got going on for me right now. And favorite moment of the night. Oh, darn, I can't remember the exact one. It was a laugher. I just think it was just the imagery of this large weapon being swung around in a, I'm assuming, basement.
Just in the bar.
Just in the bar, just
Yeah.
And then the underage drinking, and just I imagine someone walking in and seeing this 18-year-old kid with a glaive.
It's fine.
Down in shots.
That's why I locked the door.
Steve, how does he get any business? It's awesome. I love Lauren. It's an awesome NPC.
Yeah. All right. Ty?
I'm Ty. You can find me here, Bowling Brown on Twitter. I am also in Mythos Mystery Society, where we just put up a couple new episodes on our YouTube. And you can also find me next week at PAX if anyone's watching that's there on Friday and Saturday. I'm running Urban Shadows for Magpie Games. I'll be running 2 games of it.
Y'all, take those
Um,
games.
my favorite moment of the evening was it was very small, but I liked when the demon appeared at the end, like, oh yeah, Red, you can see me.
Oh, hi, Red.
Like, yeah, oh hi, Red.
Oh, hi, Red.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Very good. I like that very much.
I did not snoop here. I did not. Oh, hi, Red.
So good. I agree. That was fun. And Maria.
Hello. I'm Maria. You can find me at Happy Capster on Twitter. And also on Goblin Society Games at Society Goblins on Twitter, where we post a lot of 5e magic item stuff. Due to the holidays, I slacked on that, so sorry if you were looking for them. They'll be back starting tomorrow. I'll do favorite moment and then other stuff I'm doing here. Favorite moment for me was finally talking to Lauren. Finally. God, that was not great, but it needed to happen. I was very, very pleased that we got to do that. But also, literally every interaction with Lauren and Dimitri, it's just my favorite thing ever. I love it so much. Other things I'm doing. Tomorrow is Grim Femmes here on VR at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where Emma runs us through a D&D 5e hybrid-ish game of exploring real-life traumas and such. It's really, really good. And then Thursdays, we usually have Project VHS. However, this Thursday, with everyone gone with PAX, Dan Gaston and myself will be playing a GM-less game called The Astronaut's Journal. There it is. 2-player GM-less game. A spooky space horror still, but it's just going to be the 2 of us. And it's going to be real great. And that's it. And then here again. Ta-da! That's me.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got a message on Zoom and my brain went 3 different places. Because PAX is soon. But yeah, I'm Taryn at Tarzan Nosy on the Twitters. You can find me here on Sundays running our wonderful group through wonderful dark adventure of Urban Shadows. You can find me on Thursdays, not this Thursday, on Project VHS. And then oh boy, favorite moment from tonight. Joke moment or accidental laugh was the demon making an accidental euphemism. Was so great. Totally didn't intend that. Totally didn't realize what I was saying till it came out. And then just you know what? Demons make slip twos. So other favorite moment though, yeah, Lauren is just, hey, I will always come back to Lauren. She's so much fun in her body. She's energetic. She's young. She's a badass, and she got her first weapon. Helped make a glaive. It's just very.
She's so cool.
Yeah, I like telling this story with her as a part of it. So, yeah. Thanks everybody for stopping by, hanging out, showing us your support in chat. If you like what we do here, please follow. Not this coming weekend, but the next weekend on the 14th, we are doing a follower and donation or charity drive all Saturday long from 4:30, 5:30 in the morning to past midnight. So we're trying to reach 1,000 followers here on the Twitches. And then, yeah, if you want to support us, don't forget to drop bits sometimes, subscribe here on Twitch. And also we have a Patreon, patreon.com/variantrolls. Support us there. Yes, Emma, that is in 2 weeks. It is literally the Saturday after PAX. But yeah, so does anybody have anybody they want to raid? Max, you suggested...
Mutterbjorn, it's Sam. She was in my Halloween game, the 2 Halloween games ago, and it's got Rose Artemis in there as well.
Okay. How do I spell that?
Moder. I copy and pasted it right into the chat.
Oh, I'll just do that myself. So, Murderborn.
Mutterbjorn.
But yes, everybody, thank you again for stopping by. We hope you have a wonderful week. And is it Sunday yet? To steal a very popular catchphrase from no one in particular. But everybody, have a good night.